doing a little closing bell session. Give me a quick AV check if we're coming through loud and clear. I'll post this on Telegram. We are live. Let's see what we have here. Going live. Live now. Closing bell session. All right, so I got a couple of trades running into the close. Ended up taking a couple of bull put spreads on this little 65-70 zone. I've got a butterfly trap in there as well. So on the day, a little 30 cents on a broke wing butterflies. I've got an end of day that I'm essentially using for a $10 profit trap. And then I pulled in two bull put spreads for 55 cents. So net on the day, 55 plus 30, and then minus the broken wing with a profit trap. I mean, if nothing happens with a profit trap for me today, it's $65 a profit. Again, I've been very conservative on the day. Markets are clearly making a little stab here at the end to fill up the gap. We've got some late day direction starting around 250. Part of me wants to kind of fade this move, but I'm also just sit and watch and see, like, maybe this is the pre-OPEX, pre-triple witching market's going to make a little bit of a surge. We are sitting at the 200-day moving average. We talked about that this morning. I'm going to let the dice roll on my double up trade for tomorrow to see if we revisit the 65.80, 65.75 zone tomorrow. That is where my put butterfly spread is sitting. If we end up, settling back in there and closing for the day to basically have a nothing move day around 65.80. Let's see how the bell closes here in about 43 minutes. If we have a little squeeze to the upside, then we'll see the markets fighting back a little bit, getting into positive territory. We've been down all day. We're now back to break even on the day. So I'm not going to fade this move. I have some bear call spreads sitting up here towards 66.95. I still think it's going to be difficult for price to get there today. Here is my short-term gamma. Nice little, just big rip here from like 65.70. That's quite a bit. I mean, that's a 50-point move in about 30 minutes. And we'll see if the market just surges and pauses, gives some back, or just kind of hangs out and, pauses right around the gap fill from the previous day's close, which is where we closed near the lows yesterday after the Fed. So for the remainder of the day, for the next 40 minutes or so, I'm just going to hang out and see, where price takes us. If we end up going to a little bit higher, I'm going to keep an eye on my bear call spreads. I still have them pending. Let me see where I put those exactly, so I'm not blindsided if this alarm goes off around 66.95. I think I sold the 6,700. I am sitting at, where's my $1.50 working order? So I'm sitting at a 66.95 pending order. It's, two bear call spreads, 10 wide, are only trading for 10, 11 cents. So I'm not taking the trade right now. If we get a pretty big surge to the upside, then great. One thing I'm gonna look at right here, let me check this out. This might be a short-term risk trade. Let me see. Trading around 66.20. Let me go 65.20, 66.20. I'd be risking 770 on that trade to see if we close lower. That would put my break even around, let's see, that's 105 wide. So I'm risking 360 if we're going to fall. Question is, are we going to fall? I don't know. There's no reason for this to necessarily be the top of the day outside of a fake out trade. If price ends up falling back down to 65.80, 65.75, I do have a $10 profit trap sitting down there. If price just stays where it is for the close the next 40 minutes, I'll make 65 cents. A contract if price goes higher, I don't think we're going to be getting price above 66.95, which is roughly my expected move. My expected move box here showing 66.92 with the gap adjusted move from today. So I'm just, a little bit tempted to take a low risk trade here. Could we get below, 66.10? If we get below 66.10, what's my break even? So that would be, I'm risking 300 to make up the 9 grand. We'd have to drop 10 points. I just hate this because like the high's at 36. So if I take the trade, I need price to drop below 66.10 and get down here. I mean, it's a stab. Do I love the trade? Not really. This trade's less risk. I mean, I don't know. I'm tempted, right? But if I go 100 wide, here's the risk. I essentially have to risk $1,000. If I'm going to risk 1,000, I just need price to fall. It still needs to fall 10 points. If I go here, let's go 10 by 10. I'm still risking about $500. I still need price to drop about 10 to 15 points. So I'm just going to sit back and see if I can get price to maybe fall into this profit trap for me. 65.80, 65.75. It's right here. I just did an end of day broken wing butterfly. That's what this is categorized as. So I bought the 65.80, sold two with the 65.70. I went quite wide in this to make it a very low debit. So I'm kind of financed here for 55 cents on the credit spreads, 20 cents and 30 cents earlier this morning. So that's 85 cents on the day. And I'm just subtracting the 20. But if this can somehow come back into my profit trap, then, you know, I'd obviously like to take a chunk of $1,000 profit trap if we're going to fall back into like 80 or 75. The credit spreads, you know, risk is around 75. So hopefully we are going to be seeing price stay above 75 by the close. Okay, we'll see. This could get really interesting here in the next 40 minutes. So let's see what happens. Here's the broken or the butterfly spread I talked about earlier. Because of the little surge late today, it's taken my profit from about $250 down to about $175. It's still up 250%, which is not bad. I said this in a pretty long post for double up alerts. I posted it in Telegram, posted it in your classroom. So if we let this go until tomorrow, if price opens somewhere around this 6,600, 65.50 zone tomorrow. Okay, so let me box this in for a second. If we're opening up tomorrow around 6,600 to 65.50, okay, middle this is at 65.75. That's like pretty perfect. That's a pin price. Because of the time going from today's close to tomorrow's open, this would be worth a lot more money. I'm going to roll the dice on this one to see if I can get a slightly bigger profit target. I don't know what's going to happen overnight. If we come into futures trading overnight and the market is up tomorrow, this might be a very small loss on double ups. But if we open up, you know, 6,600, you know, go in the morning, come back and retest these lows tomorrow. My trade that was up about $300 today, $250 to $300 today, could be up as much as $500 or $600 tomorrow. And if that's the case, and I see that in the morning, I'll probably end up taking that profit. That gets me two losers and a winner, and I still net about $350 to $400 on the trade, which I'm happy with. So we'll see, but I'm gonna basically roll this into tomorrow. I don't want to use a roll with option traders. I'm just letting the dice roll to tomorrow, and I want to see if price can hang out and maybe retest this low, 65.75, 65.80. If we hit this at all tomorrow, we are going to see a pretty good profit chunk. If I go to option strat, build out that butterfly spread. Let's go. This was a put fly on SPX for tomorrow's expiration. And I'm pinning the 65.75. I went 25 wide. So 50, 75, and 66. That's the trade for tomorrow. I got into this trade for 70 cents. So what I'm talking about, hey man, you want to say hi? Oh, come say hi. So what I'm talking about is going into tomorrow's trading. Here is 9:30 in the morning tomorrow. And if we're hanging out in this area, you know, this trade cost me 70 cents. We're showing about $300 to $400 of profit. That's pretty good. That should be enough, hopefully, to see this thing. So I'm doing the math here from a 190 debit to showing $300 and some dollars. This should be showing like a $5 credit for us. If initially I took the trade for 70 cents, let's say we get out for $5 tomorrow, $5 minus 70. So I'm up $430 over the 70-cent debit. I mean, that's a 600% gain on that butterfly. I would gladly take that. Like I said, I can take two losses, one winner, still make a few $100s. That's a good result. I'm pretty happy with that. And we'll see if that's what we can muster up. But The reason I'm drawing this trade out this way is because I want to see if tomorrow morning we get inside this profit trap at all, because it's going to start, centering on my profit trap later in the day. So by 9:30 in the morning, if we're between that 50-point zone, we're going to have a few $100 extra to show for it. Let's say by noon tomorrow. So noon tomorrow Eastern time, same type of thing. This would probably be showing close to $6 or $7 credit. Maximum profit is $25 way up here. Now, am I going to wait all day for that trade? Probably not. Go walk. Yeah, go walk. Do your thing. There he goes. Kid's walking. All right. Yeah, do your thing. And he is due for a nap right after this session. So, all right. We're pulling back a little bit. Final 30 minutes here, 66.08. Okay, that's my trap for tomorrow. We'll keep an eye on that one. Let me take a look at this butterfly at the end of the day. So put spread for 55 cents, broken wing trap, watching this one up to $1,000 profit trap. This will get more interesting in the next 20 to 25 minutes. We still have the bottoms way down here for profit traps. Unlikely going to get us a profit trap. We're just going to make that 30 cents on the day. We're still pretty calm on the day. This is my expected move, even with prices going up today. Did anybody in my daily profit play, have a solid gain? I think some of the traders that posted this morning were already out. $1.50 filled, get out for $1, probably get out for 75 cents. A lot of the strikes I was reading this morning, 66.50, 66.60. It's a late day push here around 3 o'clock, but nothing that threatened our levels this morning if you were trading like a 10 or 15 delta. Yep. So VFR says, let it ride. Yeah, we're letting it ride for tomorrow. Cause again, it's just, I'm in the trade for 70 cents. Me risking 70 cents is not a big deal, because if we're in this zone at all tomorrow, just with the time alone, tomorrow morning at 9:30, and the nice thing is take a look at the wings, or the left and right side of my butterfly spread. If we're even close to this area, I'm hoping that I can see maybe a like a $4 to $5 credit. And that's better than today. It's showing like $3.05. If I can get $4, that's an extra $100, and that covers basically full risk of my call side that I'm going to lose tomorrow, because I don't think there's any way price is going to 7,200, right? So just time alone, it works out pretty well. What I don't want to see is price gapping up like 0.5% or having a big 1% surge because the market's responding to today's 200-day moving average test and the market rips up. But if that's the case, I lose 70 cents, and it's not the end of the world. So I'm going to let it ride. Hopefully we can see maybe $400 or $500 of profit on that put fly, cover the risk, still walk away with $200 to $300 of net profit on 3 trades, and only winning one of them, by the way. So that's pretty good risk management, if you ask me. Here we are at 66.07. Just going to keep an eye on this. There's that 200-day moving average I was talking about. And 6,600, 65.80. I mean, I've got a big fat profit trap sitting down there, and that market is dropping. So that 66.10 that I wanted, it would have been showing a little bit of profit. But anyway, not trying to be super greedy. I'm going to see if price can get into this trap zone in the next maybe few minutes. So this put spread is still worth 55 cents. This broken wing butterfly, I'm going to see if this offers any type of profit trap. So if you're following my mouse here, I paid 20 cents for this trade. It has up to the break-even price is 65.60, and I would have $1,000 profit trap if we're anywhere between 65.80 and 65.70. We can go all the way down to 65.60 before I take on that risk. So I'm thinking that trade is pretty darn safe. I'm just hoping that if we push a little bit lower, that I can start seeing a bit of a profit trap in here. Maybe this thing can be worth an extra $50 to $100. So if I can grab some profit here, keep this bull put spread safe, maybe grab a few $100 on the day, I'm happy with that. And then we'll keep an eye on the management stuff for tomorrow. We'll see. If price goes back up towards the highs, then I'll still be sitting at like $65 per contract on the day. Mark says 8 Condor lots winning at 60% profit. There you go, man. Nice. What were your strikes today, Mark? Did you an iron condor in the morning? What were your strikes? That's a solid winner, man. I like that trade a lot. Again, expected move. This indicator that I built. If anybody's interested in grabbing this, you can just send me an email, chrispulverpub@gmail.com. I'm getting anywhere between 5, 10, 15 emails a day. So send me an email, ask for the expected move box, $20. But it has been really, really simple trading 0 DTE with this. It's also been simple going out, any asset you want to trade, any expected move in your broker platform, 30 days out, 45 days out. I certainly like to sell things when the VIX is high, which we've been we've been a high VIX pretty much all year. The next time I'm really going to deploy premium selling is going to be around the 30 handle VIX. I think we just have like elevated VIX for this year. 20 has really been like our low. 35 has been our recent high. We had lots of 20s to 29s, 20s to 28s. That breach of 30 did put the market in a bit of a fall funk, but it was only like 6 to 7% from the all-time highs. So it's still a pretty contained market, which is kind of impressive. But all right. Centered on opening price. All right, Mark, 10 deltas. Good trade, man. What was that top strike, by the way? Because we had a plus or minus 67 this morning pre-market. I think when the market opened, we probably had that reduced down to like 54, 53 points. So if you're going a little bit further out of the money, I would imagine you're probably selling like the 66.40, 66.50, something in there in the center price. Hey, man, come walk to me. Come here. Come here. I know you're tired. You got to make it for 29 minutes. And then you take a nap. And then you take a nap. Come here. Come here. Walk to me. Walk to me. Come here. Yes, sir. Look at you, buddy. Good job. Good job. All right. Good stuff, Mark. How's everybody else doing? We're at 66.08, watching the close. I'm looking for some profit trap opportunities here. It may not happen. I need price to fall another probably 20 points to get this thing to start juicing up some gains. Otherwise, I'll just settle in on 65 bucks on the day, which is fine. I've been pretty conservative this week. Not that I want to be. It's just, we had FOMC. The markets are down. Volatility is high. I'm not trying to trade super large, and I want to make sure that day to day I'm still making some safe trades and hopefully offering up some profit trap opportunities as well. Okay, but I don't know. Today could be pretty interesting. We've got 28 minutes before the close. If we come back down, my chart alarm set at 65.80. That kicks in a profit trap. I do have a little bit of risk at the 65 zone, but that trap will kind of help offset it. So we'll keep an eye on that. Anyway, I'm gonna keep an eye on this one. So we're kind of in that sweet spot where we have 27 minutes left to go. It should start to fill up that profit trap on the broken wing butterfly. Now I need price to see, will it get into that zone? So 65.85 probably starts to kick in a little bit of profit. Certainly below 65.80, kicking in more profit. Yesterday, for example, I was in the closing playbook with Nate and Kane, and yesterday I would say I ended up getting lucky on the trade. I would have still grabbed like $30 to $40, but I ended up playing around. If you're with my live session early in the morning, we were talking about the 66.36 low yesterday. That was my measured move for my expected box. And what I ended up doing yesterday was a 66.35. I'll type this up. So I did a 66.35 by 66.30 by 66.20. And I pulled in 60 cents credit, and it's a broken wing butterfly. And then I closed. So this would be entry at 60 cents credit. And I closed for 40 cents credit. So I got a little bit of that profit trap, which helped me basically make $100 a contract. And if I didn't do anything, the break even on that trade. So the break even on that trade is 6624.40. And we closed yesterday around 6624.70. So I still would have made 30 bucks on the trade if I did nothing, but I grabbed 100 bucks to close out the day, which is better than obviously what the market would have given me at the end of the day. So I did take that little stab late in the day. At one point, this 40 cent credit of bonus profit was offering like $1.20, but I had to close that within just a couple of minutes, and I was already out of the trade there for 100 bucks. So anyway, so kind of the same thing as I've just been patiently kind of waiting all day with the market giving us this little surge. I wanted to see, okay, we've got a nice little run here. If the bulls are going to protect these lows for the day, running up here. This is not just like, oh, we popped up to the highs. It's like we ripped through all of the structure here. Now we're coming right back to it to retest it, right? So when this happens, I just look to see like what is my premium opportunities down here to see if price can stay above around 65.70, and we'll see if it does. Okay, so it could be really interesting into the close. I'm hoping that we're not going to make a fresh low of the day. That'd be really, really disappointing to see the market rip up here. I mean, this was 70 to 36. Wow, that's a 60-point move, which is the entire expected move, by the way. And this happened in about 30 minutes, and now it's given most of it back. So I don't know. This profit trap might be looking okay. Let's see. So now 20-cent debit showing a little bit of profit, and we're trading at 66.01. If we have another, 5 points lower, 10 points lower, even 20 points lower, this trade, I'm trying to highlight this here. Where's my freaking drawing tool? I need another annotation tool for this thing. Can I do this on Restream? I don't think they have an annotation tool. What I was trying to highlight here is, if you can follow my mouse, I'm looking for this trade that I have highlighted. This trade, if it stays above 65.80, I'm not making any money on the trade. So I want to see if it comes down to test or threaten 65.80. This starts to offer up maybe $50 to $100 of profit trap. I have $1,000 profit trap sitting on there, but I'm not looking to necessarily hold it all the way to close if I can get a quick like $100 or more. So this could be worth watching. I'm going to watch it, obviously. And we have 23 minutes for the close. Okay. And when this first happened up here towards 66.40, okay, you're coming back up. You're coming back up. And then you get squirmy and then you want to get down. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Say hello. Say hello. So I looked at a trade to try to get some sell. I tried to sell this thing. It would have required about a $500 to $1,000 risk. And I wasn't necessarily courageous enough to say like the top is in. It's like, I don't know. We've seen the market do this before where it's down all day. We have a nice squeeze. Keep in mind what's interesting is I said plus or minus 67 points. Look at this run from the open. Okay. When we had this low right here, that run was 65 points. We almost did the entire expected move in, a straight shot from about 3 p.m. to what is that? That's, 2:50 in the afternoon to 3:06. There's the entire expected move in what, 10, 11 minutes. So I'm not surprised the market is fading that move. But I was looking at, is that going to be the high of the day? And, I just didn't think that was a really safe trade. So even if I slice it up with 100 wide, it still would have required price to get to like 66.05 or 66.10. It'd be maybe up a couple of dollars right now. So anyway, that's why I put in the profit trap. That's what I'm looking to see if price comes down to maybe 65.80. As long as we hold here, I should be good to make a couple of bucks today. All right. And the nice part is depending on where we close today, if we have any action tomorrow in this yellow zone, then that double up trade is going to look even better for tomorrow morning. Okay, what else? Larry says made $1.20 on 10 deltas. All right, come up here then. Made $1.20. Hey, we don't need to be crying. Here, let's see what Larry did. $1.20 on 10 deltas, 66.60, 6,500, 10 wide, 235. Oh my gosh, dude, you crushed it today. So what'd you get there? You made $1.20. $1.20. Is that Larry? What'd you make? Did you make 28K today? Is that about right? Like 28,000 bucks? Crushing it, dude. Let's see here. Did you say your indicators how much? $20. Yeah, 20 bucks. So if you would like a little expected move, which it should be, where did it go? That's funny. It looks like I deleted it on accident. So here's my, yeah, so 67.49. I'm just going to delete box 1 and then go 67.49. It'll be gap adjusted. There. So there's my expected move box. I'm not sure why that got deleted. What? You gotta hang in there for 20 minutes, buddy. So yeah, 20 bucks. Send me an email. chrispulverpub@gmail.com. chrispulverpub@gmail.com. Okay. You want down? You want down, or you just want to hang out and be a distraction? Yes. All right. Before commission 20th. Good. Yeah. Nice trade, man. All right. Trump is trying to control the stock market. And I mean, he can't. He can jawbone all he wants. He can't control it. We know we can't control it. If he could control it, we wouldn't have a 20% pullback last year, right? We pivoted last year on the Trump comments, but obviously the market is going to be the market, and there's certainly pressure kind of riding on everything. The market just kind of slowly works its way lower. Technically, we're at an interesting spot. I mentioned this morning. You know, we're at the 200-day moving average. This is the big picture SPX. We have the October 10th low, the November 20th low. This is slowly making its way down. We finally broke that 6,800 handle. This is really an important spot to see if the bulls are going to step in, at least in the near term, or if they give some of it back. Here's what I would say is the sign. If you're a bull, you want to see a more convincing, you know, bullish candle or breaking structure. If we fall down to like 6,500 and then rip back up here, I could see that being a short-term bounce. So, you know, how can we catch that? Well, watch it, obviously. And then in engineered options, we're going to play some defense. We have a couple trades in for next week. We've got some of those broken wing butterflies out for the end of the month. And let's take a look at the monthly candle really quickly. Because for the month, I mean, this is a pretty ugly March, right? I mean, what was a November volatility month with that giant NVIDIA sell-off candle? Hey, all right. 1 second, everybody. I can still talk to you here. All right, let's do this. So for many, many months of indecision, we're finally showing a bit of a pullback month, but the March candle isn't done yet. So if we're sitting at support and the market wants to have like an end of month rally, even just to fight back a little bit, come on. There we go. Oh boy. Kid loves these little purees. So if the candle is down and all of a sudden it forms a, you know, long wick to the south and the body ends up being this really thin red candle, I mean, the bulls would just fight back and kind of push this thing into a close. But I don't know yet. I mean, if it's just a down candle, then we deal with it and see what April brings. But it's not a bad sign. I mean, for the first time in basically 9 months, we have the market actually rolling over a little bit. I still think there's an adequate amount of support. It's just a matter of where. So technically, you know, if this is a broadening pattern, we could bounce around 6550, 6500, then go back up. We could possibly get a little bit worse for where below the 200-day moving average. That opens up maybe some direction down into the 6150 zone. Round number is 6,000, of course. I would expect this market to have some fight in it. So if it is down here, back up here, then the question is, who's going to win? Is this market going to fight its way all the way back to highs? Is this market going to be a lower high to then lower low? I mean, I think that Trump is probably the first put in the market as far as where does this thing get jawboned or backstopped. Trump is going to be more vocal about it. I'd say Trump and Bessent and anybody else that can talk about the market and the market listens, they're probably going to start jawboning sooner than later, maybe now. But one thing the market's not listening to right now is the war is on track. The war is on track. It's almost done. It's like, well, it did that for one day and then it faded. So I'm not buying that jawboning. I think this has to be like, it's over. We're done. We're out of Iran. No more strikes. And we need to see oil prices get back down below $80. I think that's kind of my, you know, de-escalation risk appetite would be, we need to see oil probably come back down below 80 bucks. And I don't know if that's going to happen. So we'll see. But to me, de-escalation is below $80. Re-escalation is back above $100. And right now we're in this kind of, you know, inflation regime that things are not going away. Inflation's not going down without a fight. PCE, PPI, everything's ticking higher. We're going to have disrupted inflation data coming in April when we see the March's data because of this oil shock. So, I mean, on paper, the next probably 30 to 60 days is going to be a little bit interesting. That's it. I mean, it's just trading. So We'll try to figure it out. Today's rip came to you thanks to Netanyahu. What was said? What's interesting? Did anybody see that Netanyahu died over the weekend? I saw that on Twitter like 4 times. I'm like, is this for real? Is this happening? Anyway, he's not dead. I did buy some XLE puts today. Well, I am long XLE. And I mean, I've got some puts, I've got some shares. I mean, even still, it's like I'm long XLE, not for Iran. I'm long XLE because of the physical scarcity side of building out AI. You know, I mean, I was long XLE before it was popular, before it was like, oh my gosh, oil's ripping up 115%. It's like I started selling puts on XLE, you know, back in the 50s, like low 50s, right? So anyway, maybe in the short term buying some puts. Let me see what my exposure is in XLE. We're at 66.08. I'm probably just going to make that 65 cents today. That one is almost in full profit, 55 cents to close today. So $85 right there. Unless we have a fall into my, we'd have to break. Yeah, we have to come down to like, you know, 90-ish, 65, 90, 68, 65. 65.85 would be kind of a nice profit trap here in the next 15 minutes. If not, I'll keep my, you know, 65 bucks in the day. Let's see here. They say they're using video, you know, AI to create videos. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure. I mean, again, just be more than surface level, right? If you see stuff online, the hard part is like, just look more than surface level. You know, if you see it on Instagram or see it on Twitter, see it on Facebook, it's not the most reputable spot. You know, who knows? It's just like things are created to click. Things are created just to get your attention. It's just a constant short-term dopamine fix for everybody. Boots on the ground. Netanyahu said war would not last as long as everyone thinks. Okay, I mean, did that happen right in here? By the way, was that like today's little rally? I mean, that's fine, but you know, we'll tell tomorrow if the market actually takes it in stride and actually follows through with this, right? So we'll see what happens overnight. But from the remainder of the day, maybe we settle around 6,600. I'd like to be sneaking a bit of that profit trap. Okay, so I just didn't see. Let me go to my Discord feed here. Rally and market dump in oil, pretty ambiguous comment. Sure. Let's see what it says. Falls as oil surge soaks inflation. That's 3 hours ago. I mean, I'm not seeing anything real time on TradingView. Maybe some financialjuice.com. Let's see here. Soaring dollar demand slams gold. We talked a lot about gold this morning. I still think gold is a good trade. You know, dollar in the short term stuff, sure. I mean, gold is falling technically to the 200-day moving average, which I've had on my radar for months. I'm glad it's playing out technically the way that I want. I'm looking for all the stuff out of Netanyahu. We're not too worried about gas prices. Retailers like Darden restaurants, Dollar General say their customers are fine for now. I read that McDonald's is talking about doing a $3 value menu. Here's Prime Minister Netanyahu. I won't put a stopwatch on ending the war. We need alternative routes for Hormuz. There are many possibilities for ground components. I won't share what they are. Okay. Well, I didn't see it as obvious as the war is going to end soon. Not quite. So, all right, we have 10 minutes to go. Where will the market be? Option chain says maybe down to 6,600, maybe up to 6,610. If we fall a little bit lower, I've got these, put sides plus the butterfly trap waiting. I'm looking at this butterfly. It's offering no profit. I can only lose 20 bucks if I'm wrong. But if we do fall to like 65, 80, that starts to get really good near the close. Otherwise, I basically finance the trade with this bull put spread. So there's 55 cents profit trap for $1,000, but I paid $20 for it, plus the other $30 from today. So it's, again, not a big winning day. Trying to go after some profit trap material. It may not happen, but I'll still take a net positive day and make about $65. And then depending on where we are tomorrow, this trade for my double ups could be worth maybe $400 to $500, which would be a nice little close in the morning. I could sit on it longer for the day and try to get very lucky in that 65, 75 zone, because that's worth a ton of money. But even if I can get $400 to $500, I'm still happy taking the net profit and not worrying about trying to pinpoint this thing at the end of the day. Okay, so let's see if we can break these recent lows. Let me set a chart alarm here at 90 as we're flirting with the close here in 9 minutes. I mean, if the market, this actually would be pretty interesting. The market, takes that comment, runs it all the way back down before the close, I could get a very generous profit trap here. But if I don't get it, like I said, I'll just take the money on the day. What's up, dude? You want some more? You got to finish this. Don't be a quitter. Huh? Don't be a quitter. Work hard for this puree. And you've almost made it the entire hour, buddy. All right, so let's take a look at gold, silver, and oil. Gold and silver both down heavily today. Totally fine technically. I saw gold and silver both falling. Oil, I think this is just a bunch of noise right now. I took a trade yesterday. If you maybe you're catching this, we're doing some type of March Madness thing where it's myself and I think 8 of us total are basically going one-on-one, and we're trying to advance week to week. So I put on a one-to-one trade. I was risking about $900 to make $900 on oil, and it was a like combo debit spread. So if I can get oil to move about $1, I'll make about $900 and almost double the. We're doing like $1,000 positions. So if I can, nearly double that trade, then that's a good win, and that hopefully will set me up for some success with a win in advance to next week, and to see if I can carve out a winner there. So all right, we're at 6606 and counting. 7 minutes to go. All right, you can have that, mister. Yeah, I mean, I was toying with the idea. We talked about this a lot this morning. I was toying with the idea of maybe getting something around this opening bell price, something in here, or maybe the close. I think the market is doing a pretty good job of slipping right in between. I know you're tired, buddy. I get it. You're tired. All right, you're tired, boy. This kid is going to crash so hard in about 10 minutes. Here, buddy. So what I was saying is, some type of like iron fly or butterfly trap. I didn't throw the trades at it. I just kind of picked my battles after that little late day surge. Take this off. Oh, Carter, it's the worst. It's the worst. All right, one sec. So I'll run a little commentary as we wrap up the final few minutes. Where's your drink? Okay. This is the improvisation you get to do when you're hanging out with a 1-year-old. Where'd your water go? Huh? You don't need any more purees. What else is going on? You have some coconut water? You know, some pineapple juice? I need you to hang in there for 5 minutes, buddy. Yes? Here. Oh, I got it. Check this out. You want to play with this? Oh, yes. Play with this. All right, I'll give him 30 seconds before he throws it. We'll see. Ooh, buddy. Very nice. Hopefully it doesn't turn off my earbuds. All right. Anybody else taking some 0DT today? I mean, so I know that when we started out this morning session, I was trying to sell those bear call spreads. I did the broken wing butterflies. I certainly wish I would have just put in put spreads. So, getting 30 cents this morning for the profit traps, it would have been nice just to put in the put spreads. And we probably could have collected, I'd say pretty safe, like $1, dollar to $2 this morning. I mean, really, the market opened up with a red candle and it hasn't touched that low all day. So it would have been kind of immediate premium, maybe around that 6,500 handle. But just, this is why I built the expect to move box, because we adjusted for the gap. We then put the price lower, and literally the market from the low today or the open today, it never went down. So if you would grab just a quick, like, $60, $70 out of the money, $80 out of the money, I mean, we opened up around 65 or so, 65, 65. I mean, you could certainly have sold like the 6,500, 6,490-ish, maybe grabbed a couple of dollars. I'm just looking back and saying, like, that would have been a nice trade today. But the reason I built the traps is because if we were going to sell lower, I'm keeping the big picture in mind, and there's nothing necessarily magical about 6,500 outside of, we do have support right here. This is 6,550. This is 6,525. So I'm like, if we're coming back to test these levels, I don't want to just assume that the market's going to stop right there. It's like, we might hit the zeros at 6,500. I thought that'd be a safe trade to sell some profit. Even tomorrow, honestly, 6,500 tomorrow is a pretty safe spot to sell some premium. So, come back and join me tomorrow for daily profit play. Let's see what our expected move is. Let's see where prices are at. Let's see where the gap is tomorrow. Maybe we get a nice winner on double up if we're hanging out around that 66 to 60, 65.50 zone. And maybe we can sell some premium around the 6,500 as triple witching, which I know it always gets talked about. It's the biggest expiration ever. Well, yeah, because the options market just continues to grow. And so, I mean, it just means that all of the hype and volatility is going to come off. If the markets are down going into an OPEX cycle, if the VIX is going up, it tends to go lower after. So we've been ramping up into the OPEX. And if it turns south after, that wouldn't be surprising to see the market maybe have some fight in it by the end of the month and maybe finishing, off the lows. So if the market can find some support here by the 20th, I mean, we might go into the 31st with a little bit of a bounce. It may not be enough to make the month break even, but even if it is off the lows and we can muster up some defense trades to win a few trades and grab some income, I would still take that as a successful March, considering the market is down and we still make money, right? All right, we have 2 minutes to go. The little man survived the hour. Peter says, sold the NQ put 8 days out, 1,500 points lower than current. What'd you get for that, Peter? Did you sell that like today for 8 days out? And is that a NQ naked put, or did you do a spread on that? NQ is pretty darn expensive unless you're putting a spread on there. Well, I guess futures, you can get away with it. But yeah, not bad. I mean, IB, so let me see what IB is for. We're at 39 IB. I mean, this was up to like 60 or 70 IB rank not that long ago. Let me go NQ. Credit 105. What is that? What is that division? You're at $2. NQ is going to be what? $20 a point? Oh, you did a naked? Nice, dude. That doesn't suck. And you're 1,500 points lower. All right, let's see what that is percentage-wise. Let's go to NQ. 8 days out, 1,500 points. We're trading right here. 1,500 points. That's way down here. Okay, so current price, 1,500 points. You're looking at a 6 to 7% move in the next 8 days. Oof. Good trade, man. That's a great trade. Great trade. All right, closing bell 66.06. So it looks like I just keep the $65 on the day. We're closing at 66.06. Let's see what tomorrow gets us. If we end up a little gap tomorrow to the downside or a little pressure, this is what I'd love to see in the morning. If we don't really have much of a difference between closing bell today and opening bell tomorrow, I'm going to see what my double up put fly is doing. if we open up with a little bit of pressure to the downside to retest these lows, that could be very, very nice for the morning. So in my double up service, let's see what happens in the morning. I'm looking at that pretty much first thing. We will talk through our daily profit play as well. But again, in expected move box fashion, not surprised that the market stayed within the expected move. Yesterday, it was just a breach of it. I think we had like a 54-point move or 56-point move yesterday. And it just crept below that at the end of the day. We had a low that we called around 66.36. We closed around 24. So that, even though that was just a little bit inefficient by about 12 points, it was enough to say that today is highly efficient. And that 68 points was more than safe with my gap adjusted expected move box. So another good trade overall. Still grabbed a couple of bucks on the day. Just kind of grind. But this looks pretty good. So if we see a little bit of pressure in the morning, great. If we come back and revisit these lows today, great. If this is the market trying to give us a little bit of a sneak peek of, okay, we're holding support here, right? And then we had this little impulsive move, a little consolidation, and then the market can work its way higher to kind of salvage the end of the week or salvage that OPEX cycle. I'm just looking to see if I can get some extra profit because of the time factor of that butterfly spread and double ups. That's what I'd like to see. All right. So like I said, I'm letting it kind of marinate for overnight, and we'll see what this looks like tomorrow. So ended up grabbing some small profit on the day. This is my double up for tomorrow. Still showing about 300% profit, and I'm looking for more in the morning. This is the butterfly spread right in here. So coming into 9:30 opening bell, I mean, I should see some extra profit. We're hanging out at 66.06. So right in here. So if tomorrow morning this is showing another maybe $1, 300 bucks, I'll kind of keep a close eye on it. And if obviously if it's pressuring to retest the lows from today around 65.70 or so, then this might be worth, I don't know. I'm looking for maybe $4 to $5 credit on that trade without having to hold it all day. Obviously, I would love to say we're going to make this like huge winner. But even if I get $400 to $500, it's still worth covering. It's 2 losses and a winner, still making like $200 to $300 per contract. So not bad. Okay. Let's see here. Randy did a daily prop play, 66.60, 65.30, 90 cents full profit. Very nice. Yep. Great result there. So Mark had a big winner today. Larry had a big winner today. Randy had a big winner today. Fantastic. Dave probably had a pretty nice winner today since price was just doing what we needed it to do. So, all right, everybody. Anything else for today? Thanks for popping on here to the YouTube channel and checking things out, hanging out with me and the little man. He hung in there for an hour and 3 minutes, and now it's nap time. So, all right, come back and join me tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can come to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Chris Pulver. You can come to youtube.com/Financial Wars. I'll be on Zoom. If you want to join my Telegram channel, all this stuff will be posted. So check it out. Okay. So grabbing some profit there. We had a couple nice winners today in pinch point. CR hit profit, AR hit profit. These are both winners. We'll keep an eye on some of them tomorrow. I might have a couple closers that lose tomorrow. HPQ needs to drop like another $1 or so. It may not, and that might be a loss tomorrow. That's fine. Other than that, it's all about that double up tomorrow. Let's see if we can get a nice fat winner out of that. Engineered options. We have the participation level filled and the break-even level filled. We've got some monthly trades as well. Waterfall income got a little bit of love today. I posted that in Telegram here. Waterfall income trade 138.140 did get filled for $1. That's risking 4 to make 1 with a $1,000 to $1,500 profit trap on those. So we'll hang out to those until I think they were like June and July expirations. So we still have some time to let this market bounce and marinate. Let's see. All right. Thanks. You good? All right. Say bye. Say bye. Say bye. All right, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.